Ahna Mac got you bleeding, sis.
Bro, people was online talking about y'all both got beat up by a 90-pound bitch. Like,
but when it comes to her reputation and the way she looks on camera, clearly she is a big fat liar because you lost, you were embarrassed, you hid that shit. The only time the camera actually showed Stunna's full face was when
she covered her scar with
cleaned
the
her
scar.
arm.
They were really trying to hide Stunna's face.
Yeah,
they really were. Like, we didn't see her full face until she came out and fixed herself, until the scarf was dead ass down here. I was like, yeah, there's no scar, but the scarf was not there before. Now it's right here, bitch. Bye.
This the kind of beat to go. This the kind of beat to go. This the kind of beat to go. Rock, top, top.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Petty Headquarters. I'm your host, Tiana Locke, and this is
Jessie Strange.
And we are back at it again with another Baddies episode, unfortunately. All right, so we are going to be recapping Baddies Africa episode 2. And before I even get into it, I just can't believe the shit that I was seeing. And obviously, we're going to get into it and unfold all of that. But before we do that, just want to say welcome back. Welcome to those who are new. We are a pop culture podcast. We mostly, recap baddies, Zeus Network and stuff like that. Occasionally, we'll do talk about some celebrity drama, some pop culture shit. But that's pretty much us. And for those that are returning, like I said, welcome back again. Anything you want to say to the people?
Hi.
Okay, so let's do outfit of the day with Jessie.
No, hell no.
So
that's fucked up. That's fucked
How?
up. Because you know what this outfit is.
That's exactly why it's important. That's why the people need to know. Because listen, we all have days where we just don't want to show up. So explain to the people the inspo and the reason behind the outfit.
There is no inspo. I woke up late for work and I threw this in my car and I picked the nearest shirt that I could find and I borrowed Tiana's hat and I found sunglasses in my book bag to hide my bags and how tired I am. So
that's a mood though.
What about your mood? What's your mood?
I don't know. It's giving vintage 80s. I don't know. Kids that be riding on the bicycle. It's giving Stranger Things. I don't know.
It's only my third day out here. I don't know.
I don't know what it's giving, but it's something. I guess. Yeah. All right. So that concludes outfit of the day with Jessie. So without further ado, let's just dive into this week's dose of mess. So we take it up where Stunna, Ahna, Natalie is there, and we finally see Natalie and Ahna fight.
What was that? What was that? They didn't even let them fight.
They did it. But I'm not gonna hold you. The little bit that we see, Ahna was getting her little pieces in though.
Yeah, she did.
She was getting her little pieces in, but you're right. They really did not let them fight. I was like, what kind of bullshit is this? Like, is this real?
It was actually funny to hear Ahna talk about, you got beat up by a 24-year-old. You got beat up by a 24-year-old. I was dying.
No, yeah, I know. She was talking mad shit.
Yo.
I mean, she already talks mad shit, but this was just like to the max.
Yeah. She was on
She was
a roll.
feeling herself. Like, you beat up Nat. Well, she got her hits in with Nat, and you embarrassed Stunna Girl.
Ooh,
you embarrassed Stunna Girl. Like, you got that. Stunna Girl, I felt secondhand embarrassment.
she got dragged. Nah,
all right, now you're dragging it. Dragged is extra.
Nah, but like her reputation got dragged.
Yeah, I will definitely say her reputation got dragged.
Let's talk about the Stunna Girl thing because obviously they get into a fight and man, I just was so shocked. First of all, I feel like in this whole clip, we see Stunna Girl, her credibility go down the drain.
It plummets.
Because she lied.
Mm-hmm.
She lied about what happened with Ahna. She lied about what happened with Ivory because, she ends up bleeding in camera, blood on her arm.
And
literally
you saw
can't
the
deny
scratch on her head by her eyebrow.
Yeah, and she talking about, I don't know why y'all acting like it was me bleeding. Like, I'm just like, bitch, it's on camera. Like, you're literally lying. And then she says something along the lines of like, this wasn't you. I got into a fight last night, which it corroborates with Ivory's story where she said she fucked her up in the head, gave her a gash in the head. So if that is true, it all adds up. Like, it's all in the same spot that Ivory said she hit her in. You know, Stunna hit it. And obviously, Ahna reopened that scar.
Right.
And she really just want to lie. Like, Ahna Mac got you bleeding, sis.
Bro, people was online talking about y'all both got beat up by a 90-pound bitch. Like, bitch is 90 pounds. Y'all got beat up by a bitch that's 90 pounds.
And then to think that Stunna really went online and just, like, you know, we always credited Stunna to be someone that doesn't lie. But when it comes to her reputation and the way she looks on camera, clearly she is a big fat liar because you lost, you were embarrassed, you hid that shit. The only time the camera actually showed Stunna's full face was when
she covered her scar with the scar. First of all, let's just start by, let me break this down. This whole Ahna and Stunna fight, security was breaking it up so quickly that it was pissing me off.
Yeah.
They did like 4 or 5 rounds and security after like 2 seconds was jumping in. And I was like, why are they doing this? Like, this is kind of weird. Like, why don't y'all let them have it since they have this long history of beef? Like, why don't y'all let them go at it? Okay. And then, you know, Ahna got her little hits in from the little bit that they did do and all that stuff. And I was so embarrassed. I felt secondhand embarrassment because usually you hear Stunna popping her shit and she was quiet. Her and Natalie was mad.
She was so mad.
She was so mad that Ahna actually got one over on Stunna, and you could tell she was so mad.
They were both like quiet
as fuck.
Yep,
quiet as fuck.
And
mute.
There's a screenshot of Ahna paused on Anna's face and she looked proud of herself. It was like a meme. Like, look at Ahna proud of herself for what she did. That shit made me laugh.
I'm telling you, she was definitely feeling herself. That's what she said in her confessional. Tasiki taught me that.
Yeah.
I learned a few things. Like, Stunna was like, why you keep backing up? She's like, no, that's how I fight. That's how I fight. I was like, oh, okay.
I was telling Tiana that, you know, honestly, I wish Stunna never came back to Baddies.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that she should have just left her legacy if she ever had one. But like in the Baddies realm, right, for the lack of better terms, her legacy, she would have left it the way it was. We would have remembered Stunna for the way she left us. And now the last thing we're going to remember is literally her getting knocked up by fucking Ahna Mac. Like,
yeah, it's kind of wild. And honestly, I'm wondering if Zeus even brought her back just for that. Like, what if they agreed to, you know, all of her terms, just embarrass her? You telling me they wouldn't do that?
What do you mean? How would they know that Ahna would have won though?
They don't. But my thing is, I just feel like the way security just kept breaking it up so quickly, I just feel like there's intention there for them to not really fight.
Yeah.
It's the same thing they do when Natalie's fighting, like, you know, but then when it's like Ivory or Big Lex or someone else, they let them go forever. But when it's like someone important, they kind of break it up every 2 seconds. And I'm wondering, like, if that was the reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we have to talk about it too. Like, I felt like they were really trying to hide Stunna's face.
Yeah,
they really were. Like, you saw all these different camera angles, and we didn't see her full face until she came out and fixed herself, until the scarf was dead ass down here. I was like, yeah, there's no scar, but the scarf was not there before. Now it's right here, bitch. Bye. Like, what are we talking about?
No, for sure. And it's funny because Ivory was online celebrating.
She was talking so much shit.
As she should. Stunna Girl fucking jumped her, and now we know why. Because Stunna probably couldn't handle Ivory on her own. If you couldn't handle Ahna Mac, then you definitely can't handle Ivory on your own.
Definitely not. I mean, but we already knew this. Like, from her season on Baddies West, we already said Stunna can't fight. Like, that's been a known thing. Only thing is she just stands up for herself, and I guess she's affiliated with what she's affiliated with, and she knows all these people. I guess that's what kind of like made her stand out. But like, she lost all her fights with Tommy.
True.
Like, let's be real.
True.
Like,
I do want to talk about how, you know, from the transition between fighting Nat and then Stunna, because Ahna, like, you know, fights Nat, and it was so weird because obviously Nat, you know, they let Ahna walk off set or walk out of the cameras and then come back, but it just felt like they were waiting. Like at some point it was an awkward waiting moment for Ahna to come back. It just felt fucking weird, and you see Stunna waiting like a dog ready to fight, you know.
yeah.
It was so weird. It was just like, yo, they really paying these bitches to really just square up with one another. And it's crazy because they did the same thing like what they did with Krishan and Tasiki. Like they only brought Krishan for that one moment in the beginning, and that was it. Same thing with Stunna. Like, and there ended up being I guess some controversy with how much she got paid.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, apparently, Ahna Mac had said you only got paid $50,000.
Yeah.
And then Stunna Girl was like, no, I got paid $100K or some shit like that. And she
said $50K plus the cash.
Right.
And she showed the bundles of cash. And then Zeus Network put out a statement
twice
talking about how this is crazy. Talking about how they don't give talent cash and all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, y'all ain't y'all shit this season.
What do you think? Do you think that Stunna Girl's lying?
I don't know.
I mean, she showed the check of $42,000.
Yeah.
Two of them.
She did show the check.
You know?
She did show
and it
the
says
check.
Zeus Network. It says
did.
Baddies Africa.
And it says her full government.
Right.
Suzanne.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think she's lying, but then again, I don't know. Now, I'm wondering if that's why Zeus put out the statement so quick.
Right.
Maybe she's telling the truth. They did give you a little bit of cash because, of course, it's a business. They want to, like, sometimes do shit off the books, right? And they want to figure out ways to, like,
Honestly,
exactly.
I don't believe anything a word fucking Lemmy says. So
Me
yeah.
either. So I kind of believe Stunna.
Even though she's a lying ass hoe, what we talking about is, and especially when it comes to her ego, she's a lying ass hoe, clearly.
But when she's talking about other people, she laying it all out.
Speaking of laying it all out, she tells us that it was Lemon Pepper himself
She does.
who gave out that location for Ivory.
Yeah.
And ain't that what I said?
Yeah,
Ain't that what we said?
Yeah, that is what we said. And then I kind of like second guessed it when Natalie was just moving weird.
Yeah.
She was just moving mad fucking weirdly.
But this goes back to the same thing I say all the time. It's so easy to point to Natalie because she's the face of the show, but the real puppet master is literally Lemuel Plummer.
And I feel like we've been saying this like in all of our episodes, no matter the recap, no matter the season. And we've been saying how he a baddie, like he's pulling the strings. He's the puppet master.
He's the CEO.
Right.
He's the one paying at the end of the day.
He is going to hide behind Natalie. And I remember when Natalie went off on her live, she even said it.
Yeah.
She said it. She was over it and she was tired of like looking like a pawn and a clown. And I guess in their little master scheme, ain't that funny, y'all? One thing I'm realizing with Baddies Africa is that what goes around comes around. And history will always repeat itself. The abuse always becomes the abuser. Mm-hmm. And it's wild. You see it with Natalie, how she was. And now look at the network and Lemmy treating her the same way she's treated people for years, right? And now you even see it with this trio, okay? And it's crazy because it's like you can't even have compassion for these bitches. I be wanting to have compassion and then they just be getting me mad. And I'm like, why did I even feel bad for you? This is why you can't feel bad for nobody on this damn show. It's so annoying because now with the trio, they were, going through it, and now this season they're kind of like they became the ones to harass and abuse, and I'm just like, I mean, I guess this is what the show is about, but like, I don't know, have some decorum, like don't start shit for no fucking reason. At least if there was beef, okay, but don't just start shit out of thin air just to be like a puppeteer or some shit, or a fucking puppet. It's annoying.
I feel like there's a few baddies that are able to entertain while also give the network what they need, while also representing themselves and just like I think DTB,
She does that well.
Biggie's gone like over the seasons. Like I said, I feel like these people, these reality TV stars, shouldn't be on camera for long.
Right.
Like you should have 2 short seasons and that's it. Because the more lost you get into this reality TV world, the more of an asshole you become.
Mm-hmm.
You get lost in it so much, you lose sense of reality for real.
Yeah.
So, when Biggie was like in her first 2 seasons, you started to see like she did it well, and then she became exactly what it was too.
Exactly.
Tashiki's an example of someone that stood true to her character, but then those are the ones you consider quote unquote boring on the show anyway. So it's like, again, there's some people who do it well, and there are people who don't. And I'm not gonna lie, Ahna Mac is growing on me. I think she is a legend for the way she went out. I think we went out like with a bang. Like if any other way Ahna Mac could have left the damn show, she did it exactly how it was supposed to be.
Yeah. It's kind of like how I was like, yo, did E.T. go out with a bang?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then after that, we transitioned to Natalie and the girls going to Africa. Everyone is going to Africa now. And now you see Natalie link up with Rolly, and they're in the car and they're talking about the whole thing. And Natalie says this one thing that was so weird. She says, all this, Ahna Mac was talking all this shit, like all this New York shit. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that?
I have no idea what the fuck that means.
But that tells you that she is not who she like pretends to be. Because who the fuck says that? All this New York shit. Like she sounded like such a fucking grandma.
Like a Karen.
She sounded like a Karen for real.
Yeah,
like an old
like,
white woman.
She sounded like the Valley girl Karen that she claimed to
like
be.
It came out. It
Yeah,
came out. She was like, she's talking all this New York shit. I was like, what did that even mean, bro? Is it starting to show? The old white woman underneath is starting to show.
Yeah, she cracked a little bit.
That was a crack. I was like, New York shit? What do you mean? It says the one that does this and does all these fake gang signs? All this New York shit?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I'm sorry. I had to really write that down because I was like,
if any of y'all know what the fuck that means, maybe we're biased because we're from New York. Maybe someone outside of New York could tell us what the fuck some New York shit is.
It sounded like that Karen behavior, though. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Right? She might as well have said ghetto. Is that what she's saying?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The
rowdiness.
That's what it felt like.
The rowdiness.
And maybe I was reaching, but that's what it felt like. Even when the way she was saying it, and talking to Rolly, it felt like that. It really felt like that. I was like, oh, is Miss Nunn starting to crack?
Karen.
Did she crack and show a little bit of her actual self right there?
Right.
I was like, what do you mean New York shit? You act like you haven't been to New York. You act like you haven't dealt with mad New York bitches for mad seasons. You act like you haven't seen this rowdy shit before. So what do you mean all this New York shit?
I think Natalie's just mad because she can't argue as fast as Ahna Mac.
No.
And I feel like she's just so mad because she made her look stupid. You argue. Listen, one thing's for sure. You argue with Ahna Mac is going to fucking most likely win. She's fucking fast with it, bro. And maybe that's what it is, right? The rowdiness of being quick and being loud and overpowering you. I guess I could see New York shit. I guess.
It was just the delivery. I was like, what do you mean?
I know.
What do you mean by that? What the fuck?
Tell me more.
Right. And then Rolly was over there talking about, these bitches complain, but then guess what? They're calling you back. They're trying to hit you up the next day. And I'm like, yo, Rolly is sucking her dick hard.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, listen, if that's her alleged friend, I mean, I guess alleged friend. I mean, I don't know. And this is where you hear Natalie talk about DTB and how she has a problem with DTB. She can't stand the clout chasing and she's over it. And I'm just like, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you've said it. I'll say it here, but this thing between DTB and Natalie just feels a little scripted.
It is. It's fake.
Yeah, they know what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like DTB is doing what Biggie should have done. What Biggie had potential to be that person. She was funny. She had, that house B shit,
But she didn't want to fight.
But she didn't want to just step up in the way, I guess DTB has. And DTB can embrace all
DTB had lost a tooth for this shit.
She sold her soul.
She lost her hair, a patch for this shit. So at this point, I don't know, I guess. But yeah, the whole thing with Natalie and DTB, I'm just like, wrap this shit up. We know it's fake. Like, I mean, maybe not. Maybe other people don't know it's fake. Like Tavi, for example, having her input. Or maybe she does know it's fake and she's just including herself in the storyline.
Maybe.
Both can be a possibility. I don't know. But then we get to the newbies, these new set of girls. They're on the bus, okay? And I can't fucking wait to talk about this because I feel like I've been wanting to talk about this scene since the last night. So we know the trio as Bad Dolly, Summer, and Big Lex, okay? Now, before I go into this, Big Lex, she posted a video on her story, and it was a YouTube video, and it was a vlog. And it was basically her putting everything together from when it was a vlog of how she auditioned for Baddies Midwest.
Yes.
Did you see it?
She manifested where she is. Yeah.
You saw it?
Semi.
I saw the video and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like Big Lex as a person and like who she was, I guess, or who she is, because you can tell a part of her is still there, but she's not gonna be that because at the end of the day, she wants the money, she wants the limelight, she wants the success, she wants Natalie's approval, and you even saw it in her vlog. Like, Natalie's not gonna overlook me, she's gonna pick me. That's one of the stuff that she kept saying. And I was like, okay, I admire your hustle. I admire this because like you really work your way to the top and you did what you needed to do. One, and she had her business card. She sold drinks at the auditions. I was like, oh, you really okay. You made it the best for you.
Right.
And so I really thought to myself, like, okay, I admire the hustle, but then it's one of those things where it's like, you're so impressionable right now. Like, what if like down the line you start to realize like, damn, maybe this isn't the best path I should have taken. Like, yes, it's great. It changed my fucking life. But then it's like, I'm wondering if it'll hit her at some point when she's older or down the line when Natalie throws her away because she's disposable. When she starts to realize that she is disposable and can be replaced with a younger her. The same way Natalie threatens to replace Scotty time and time again. So I'm wondering if those thoughts will change or if she'll have like a different insight because I like her. I just feel like this trio that she's in, I'm not really feeling it. I mean, but I'm not going to sit here and say I don't fuck with her. I still do. But now back to the fucking scene, right?
Well, just to add on to what you're saying real quick, I feel like Lex is she just gives me the girl that wants to fit in.
Yes, that's what everyone says.
Yeah. And it feels like it because it's like, even when they were, at the house and Natalie's asking, if they were wrong to Big Lex was like, I'm just standing by my friends. Because she knows her friends are wrong.
Yes. And I peeped that too when she was like, she didn't really have anything to say because she knew that, damn, that was kind of fucked up. But in that moment, it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to speak up or are you just going to entertain?
And that's what annoys me about Big Lex, but she's also young, but so is Summer, so I don't know.
Then this is why I feel like what goes around comes around because the same way she called out Jayla and other people, someone may come now and call her out and it'll just be history repeating itself and the cycle just continuing. And I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy.
Speaking of cycling, just continuing, I just wanted to touch base on a little bit of a sidebar here. There's been people telling us to review Baddies Gone Wild, and I have not watched it, but I did see a clip that Lemmy posted. It was like a 2-minute clip or whatever, and I just want to say one thing. I thought that Natalie was not going to be on the show. That was the point for her to sit back and behind. But when I saw her literally doing the same thing she does on Baddies which is like having these little 18-year-olds instead of 40-year-olds. She has 18-year-olds surrounding her. Natalie looking old as fuck. Like, now you got the youngins making you look old, and they all look like they just want to like her approval.
Yes.
They're like looking up to her like, you know, it's so fucking awkward.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, wow. And then she's just, again, trying to set up a fight. So she's like, y'all gotta, you know, got something you want to talk about, get off your chest? And it's like, oh my God, I thought this was supposed to be different, but it's not. So again, going back to the same thing, it seems like this whole Baddies franchise, whether it's Baddies Gone Wild or Baddies Africa, it's just the same shit.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people stop watching. And you know what's so funny is that people end up listening to our recaps instead.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for some people, it becomes exhausting to watch over and over.
So it's like easier for them to just listen to us instead.
Yeah. So, okay. Sidebar.
So back to the trio. So now you have Bad Dolly, Big Lex, and Summer. They're on the bus with these new set of girls, okay? Fresh off the boat new, okay? So they just start having conversation with them. Regular conversation. It seems like it's going well. It seems like they're genuinely
Vibing.
Right. It seems like they're genuinely vibing, getting to know the girls. And, you know, out of nowhere, Bad Dolly, she just starts questioning that. First of all, she starts talking about how she beat Ivory up, all this shit. And she starts questioning them, how y'all feel about the trio? How y'all feel about the trio, though? Like, and it was just so ugly because then it continued and it got worse. This bitch then went on to say, yeah, we're like the originals. I'm like, why are you talking like this? She was talking like she was a 5th grader on the fucking elementary playground park, bitch. Like, it was recess. It was recess and you was trying to bully some other fucking little 5th graders.
So do y'all have beef with anybody?
I don't like that bitch DTB.
Me either.
Yeah, so.
Us either. I beat her ass in Atlanta after I beat Ivory ass.
Oh my God.
I'm my mama. Okay, weird. Bitch, y'all we're the originals. So y'all.
No, baby. Last season, y'all the ones who fought like, oh, the OGs be doing this. Y'all not supposed to be doing that. Now
like,
we in y'all position, so ain't none of that.
No, y'all not.
No,
we still got our same position.
No.
Oh, no.
I couldn't believe, yeah, we're like the originals. I was like, what the fuck is going on? How y'all feel about the trio? So like, yeah, like, whoa, it was so ugly to watch because one, Bad Dolly, you're not even a fan favorite. You're literally nothing without Summer. Okay, let's start right fucking there.
Clock it.
You're literally nothing without Summer. Nobody knows you. Nobody likes you. Like, if we're being frank. And it's annoying because, like, yes, I had compassion for her because obviously I'm human. I'm not an evil bitch that lets these types of shows consume me. Maybe other people do, but I don't. So when she had her little seizure, I was in the hospital. I did feel bad for her, right? And especially since like she didn't really, it was like unprovoked too. Like a lot of it was unprovoked and could have been avoided. But the fact that now you're back and you're just doing the most as if you are the ringleader of these girls that technically have more fans than you. Summer, I feel like holds both of y'all together. Summer is the glue. Without Summer, there would be no trio. So let's start right there. 1, 2, even Big Lex. She may be a little bit more quiet, but I feel like she has more fans than you. She has more fans than you. So for you to be popping your shit on the bus like, we're like the original. I was like, oh my God. I was literally looking at my TV like, she was talking so ugly. That wasn't even her voice. That wasn't even her natural voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, it seemed vibey. The newbie said that they were fucking with them. And then out of nowhere, shit just goes left. And before that, we hear Code Killer talking about how she don't fuck with DTB and Tank because she feels like they stole her sound, her song. And it's like kind of similar lyrics, similar beat and all that. So she feels like they were responsible. And Tink claims she never stole her song. She doesn't even know who she is. But then Cold Killer is like, how do you not know it got 40 million views?
They always say that.
They always say that, for real. Because, like, obviously your team knew.
Mm-hmm.
Your team knew.
Okay.
to steal like that, your team fucking knew. Like, but also, too, it's like, you know, it can have 40 million views and people won't know. Like,
True.
that's a thing, too. That's a thing, too, because there's a lot of stuff that have mad views, and I didn't even know until somebody put me on.
True.
There's so many different, like, departments of the online world nowadays that, honestly, if Cold Killer goes outside, nobody knows her. Like, if you go to the city, nobody knows you.
Mm-hmm.
Your video, your song may have had 40 million views, but that's in your niche. If you go out in the city, outside your city to a big city, nobody's gonna know who you are. So, yeah, that's that.
Yeah, I mean, Dolly talking. First of all, let's talk about how I didn't even know who that was Dolly. I was texting her. I was like, who the fuck is the girl with the orange wig? And she's like, that's Bad Dolly. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I didn't even know. Like, she was talking weird. I didn't even know. I thought it was one of the new girls.
Yeah, like, we're the originals.
That's why I was confused when she kept saying the originals. I'm like, who are you? Like, I'm confused. I swore she was one of the new girls. And then when you told me that, I'm like, oh, I realized.
Like, where did your accent go?
I was like, okay, that's interesting. I'm like, this bitch it changed everything. Because I'm like, this bitch spent all last season looking like Edward Scissorhands. We're breaking up everything, in and out of these fucking doctor visits because you broke your nose, you broke your finger, you know, and you had an accident with whatever. That, whatever. But still, it's like, you weren't even, like, you're only here because of Summer. You know, you weren't a fan favorite, so for you to be talking like that, you out of all three of them, you the least favorite. You were better off not seeing you, for real. Like, you
were better off not speaking.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, because she's like, oh yeah, this is a new Bad Dolly you about to see. I'm like, maybe we don't need to see you, sis. Yeah. Like, it's not cute. And she's older.
32.
She's 32. Lex is like 20 something, right? Like, you really the oldest there, acting like that. The oldest of the trio, acting like that.
The youngest.
Shorty, you're like older than me, right? Like, why are you talking like that? It's so weird. It's getting to her head, and you can tell how, wow, it's crazy how, like, in one season,
one fucking season, like, bitch, you haven't even been like 3.
You didn't even do anything to deserve that type of attitude. So just imagine.
You didn't even win most valuable baddie. Like, the fans literally hate you. Like, I'm so confused where this energy is coming from.
Oh, it's really delusional.
We're the original. Like,
and you're not the original. The original big three technically is Biggie, Ahna Mac, and Tasiki. Let's be real.
Technically, Rolly, Scotty, if we're really gonna be real, in terms of the Baddies whole franchise, yeah, the originals would be Natalie, Scotty, and Rolly. If we're really
but
gonna be real.
They don't be fighting for each other the way you would see the quote unquote big three fighting for each other.
That's true. So that would be like the original big three,
right?
For sure.
Because the only reason why the big three became a thing was because the houses were separated, House A and House B, and that's how 3 became, because if not, it would have been just regular baddies no matter what.
I agree. The original big three, definitely Biggie, Ahna, Tasiki.
Right. So to say that you're the originals when you were just here last season, like, you don't even have the right.
Yeah.
Not even Tink and DTB were talking like that.
Right.
And they had way more fans than Bad Dolly.
Right.
They did way more in the season than Bad Dolly.
Right. Bad Dolly was in the hospital her entire fucking season.
Right.
What did you do to be talking like, yeah, how y'all feel about the trio? Y'all fucking with the trio.
Why was she pressed for the other people to be a trio as well? Like, she kept kind of like saying, y'all a trio or something like that. And I'm just like, what is it with this trio shit?
It felt like,
it's
I'm
weird.
telling you, that shit felt like middle school, like immature, like bullies, like these girls that are just bullies talking about, oh, you can't sit with us because we're stars and you're squares or some dumb shit like that they just made up. Because even her talking about the trio and conceptualizing it to this whole big thing, kind of like how I guess Natalie does with the baddies chain for the girls. It's like, girl, your shit is not even hitting the way you think it is.
It's not.
It looked like the voice change was crazy. I said, girl, where your accent go? Where your accent at?
Yeah, and then I think at this point, this is where Fauna was, you know, saying, I don't know, her and Summer were going kind of
it
like...
was so stupid. They
back
were
and
talking
forth.
about music and they were talking about other stuff, and it was fine up until Summer didn't want to call Fauna her name.
Right.
She said, I'm going to call you whatever the fuck I want to call you.
Which is disrespectful.
Which is so out of pocket, because y'all was really just vibing, and then, you know, it just went left because Summer decided to be Summer. Because she said, I'm on baddies. I don't need to be good. I'm a bad girl, so I'm going to be bad. Like, I don't give a fuck. And I feel like that's the energy. That's been her energy. And I feel like that, it's interesting because I feel like Summer started this on her own. And after the trio, they kind of also just took that and ran with it. So now they're just starting shit from nothing. Like out of thin air, thinking, yeah, we're gonna be everyone's favorite because we're the ones getting it popping. We're the ones, like, you know, catering to the story, to the entertainment. But shorty, time and place. Like, you could be funny and start shit and not do the like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like time and fucking place, you know? So it escalates because Fauna's like, no, you're gonna call me by my name. And all these bitches start arguing and they all start fighting. And I'm like, yo, this shit went from kumbaya to crazy bad bitches fight. I don't even know. It just went from crazy animalistic behavior like within 2 seconds.
Yeah, they start fighting in the bus.
In that small ass small ass sprinter. And then it gets to the point where they take the trio off of the bus. So then the new girls are only on the bus. And something happens. So Summer opens the back door.
Yeah, she tries to sneak them from the back, which is crazy.
Yes, but didn't she spit on them from the back door? She does it twice.
Nah.
Or does she throw water?
I thought she just tried to get in and what, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like she did something. She either spit or threw water because they got really upset and then they threw water on her.
No, I think they were just upset because they didn't expect her to come sneaking from the back. Like, that shit is shady. So that's why they were like, what the fuck? Now fuck that. And then they got up. Maybe I must have missed it.
I don't know, because I was looking down when that part happened. I was texting you at that point, so I don't know. But if you guys know, definitely drop it in the comments. Let us know. But then after that, they open the window. They throw mad water on Summer. She's outside the bus with the rest of the girls. And it is just chaotic.
Yeah, they throw a shoe too.
Oh my God, they threw a shoe.
A sandal.
This was so outrageous. So now at this point, we're just switching back from these different sprinters because you have one set of new girls and you have another set of new girls. So now it switches over to the other sprinter where DTB, Scotty, you know, who else is on there? Pretty P, Ivory,
Tavi.
Right. So those are the original girls that are on there. And then the new set of girls, we have Tavi, LCK, Russian Cream, and who else? I don't know. It's too many of these bitches.
Too many.
Yeah. Okay. So everything was cool. I feel like Tavi came in with good energy. She was hyped. She was excited, you know, to meet the girls. And it seemed like they were vibing. Scotty was talking to them. Ivory and Pretty P, they were all just chatting. Pretty P definitely lets the girls know to watch out for Summer because she stole my purse. She stole my shit, my money, my watch, and everything. Disgusting. And we'll get to that. But then out of nowhere, as Tavi's introducing herself, DTB. What did she say?
Because she was like, Brooklyn in the
Brooklyn in the house. They done fucked around and let Brooklyn come on scene.
That's the bitch that was all entitled. That's you, right?
Yes, that is me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I found it.
Yeah.
That's you, right? Yo. First of all, when DTB makes it known, like as soon as Scotty is asking this woman where she from and all that, DTB gets up from the chair. That's the bitch that said we was all entitled. That's you, right? Yo, I started cracking the fuck up.
Yo, for real.
I started cracking up because I was like, yo, leave it up to DTB to literally just not give a fuck. And that shit had me weak. Now they start going back and forth about, oh my gosh, the whole internet bullshit beef that's going on between her and Natalie. Do you think this is real?
What, her and Tavi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's real, or you think it's only real on Tavia's end?
I think it's only real on Tavi's
end.
Yeah,
I feel
DTB
like it
is trolling.
Yeah, I feel like DTB's trolling, and I feel like Tavi was trolling too, but then it got real for Tavi, but then DTB's like, bitch, like, I does this. Like.
Yeah. No, I feel like DTB is definitely trolling, is like doing the most to just start, even her, because you notice how when Scotty was like, called DTB, she called her twice, and DTB has her headphones on, so she didn't answer. And so the only time DTB answers is because she's hearing the conversation. She knows what's going on, so she purposely ignored Scotty twice, and then purposely said what she said when Tavi was talking. So it was on purpose. Everything is her to just get a reaction.
No,
clearly.
for real, because that shit had me weak. I was like, are you serious right now? So now they're going back and forth. Scotty is like literally trying to stop the drama. She's trying to stop the drama. And I'm not gonna hold you. In this moment, Tavi swung so quick on DTB. I was like, whoa, like I didn't even see it. Like she just swung so quick, and obviously it was like broken up and all of that. One thing I do want to point out is when DTB yells, like they're going back and forth, DTB and Tavi, but one thing she did say that had me weak. She said, you embarrassed yourself by coming on TV with that wig. And I honestly cracked the fuck up. They were really going blow for blow, though, because at some point, Tavi said, you sound like you got cum in your throat.
Bro, that shit had me cracking up.
Yo, when she said that, I lost it. I was like, yo, this cannot be real life. Like, this cannot be real life at all. Like, I can't. So now it switches back to the other fucking sprinter with the trio and those set of newbies. And now at this point, you see them, they're trying to get back on the bus, all right? And of course, as they're trying to get back on the bus, it goes up. And Summer spits on the new girl.
Yeah,
she does.
Dirty
which I
ass
was
bitch.
like, this is so out of pocket. Like, you know, when you spit on someone, that is like the utmost disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone, what? They don't even know you. You don't even know them to treat them with that much disrespect. Like, I feel like when you spit on someone, there was some serious beef, and they're like the scum of the earth to you.
You know, I forgot to mention, before this whole beef went down, Fauna had said something to Summer like, you know, I know you say things just because you're mad, but, you know, I know you don't mean them. And then Summer's like, no, I do mean them, insinuating that she does. And I thought that was interesting because it's like, damn, Fauna was definitely giving you an excuse. And then it's like, you're saying you mean it right after the whole Emmett Till thing. So I thought it was funny. And it's like, you know, Summer, she a dirty hoe.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that before she said she means it, she did do a smirk in the beginning where it kind of seemed like she was like, damn, I don't need you reading me, bitch. This is Baddies. Like, you know, It kind of felt like that. And then she just kind of just was like, no, I do. But it did seem like, okay, I get it, but this is Baddies. So we're not about to do this heart to heart right now, bitch. You're not about to get in my head.
That's interesting.
That's what it gave, but I don't know.
But yes. Summer ended up, you know, spitting in her face. And then, you know, Fauna's like, you see her crazy eyes.
Yeah,
now.
and then they
and
like start fighting, and like security's trying to break it up. But then Fauna just like keeps hitting her. And every time she hits her, she's like, make. And I started dying because I was like, yo, I felt that. I cannot. And now we transition back. And this is where Pretty P is telling the girls about Summer, like we said. And Elsie just continues. Honestly, I don't know if I like Elsie. I don't know yet.
Why?
I don't know yet. I just feel like from the energy, on the bus, the sprinter, plus what I saw in the preview, I just feel like she's going to be one of those girls to try too hard. And it's going to come off just insincere and disingenuous and just like, it's going to make her look bad. You know, like I feel like her energy is not that. And you're trying to match this bad baddie energy. It's just going to make you look bad. And it's like, represent for your country, girl. You don't need to act like them. And I feel like she's going to do that. I don't know yet. I could be wrong, but that's what I feel like is going to happen because from the preview and then even her saying, what's your beef with Natalie though? It just seems like she's already coming in like, I need Natalie's approval. I need to be on the private jets with Natalie. So I want to protect Natalie. It just already felt like that, but I don't know. So she asked, what's the beef? Okay. And then as Diamonds talk about the beef, Tavi is just arguing back and forth with her. And Tavi, one of the things that she does say is like, you troll all the time. Like, why? And then you want to get mad when someone else trolls you on the internet. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I say clock it on that one. It's
Yeah,
true.
no, literally, it's so true.
It's true.
So true.
Getting a taste of your own medicine.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't think DTB is actually mad at it.
I don't
think
so.
she's reading the signs. She knows what to do and she's doing what she's here to do.
She's doing what she gets paid to do.
Exactly.
And that's what it is. And she does it well, where I guess maybe Tavi did not understand that.
But that's understandable because this is Tavi's first time on the show. Like we see all these new girls coming in and they believe a lot of things. You know, it's hard to tell what's the truth and what's not when you're in those environments.
It is, especially when Shorty really getting mad. Like Veins is popping out. Like, why you getting so mad?
Doesn't
you a whole actress.
Right. Doesn't DTB at some point throw a drink at her too or something like that?
Yes, she does. And it just, it's crazy. So this is what she's saying. You guys sound like you got cum in your mouth. And then it just like, oh my God. And then outside of Summer arguing with the newbies, Tavi and DTB, they just keep going back and forth. And then this is where you see that they fight. Tavi slips and then DTB gets her and security tries to break it up. And I'm like, honestly, Tavi, you lost that round. And that's why you should have waited. You should have waited for when you got off that damn bus.
Yeah.
To be fighting in that small ass bus is just not it. It's cramped.
It was mad funny to see Ivory mad proud of DTV talk about,
I
taught her how to do that.
She did. She said, go Diamond, go. I was like, oh my God.
I ain't gonna lie. I like Ivory. This like the last few episodes. She's growing on me. She's mad funny. I just like her support for DTV is so funny.
Yeah. I just like how she can also like be cool with who she's cool with without calling it a thing. Like, we're a duo, we're a trio. Like, it's never that deep. Mm-hmm. You're cool with who you're cool with because now this is coming off fake.
Exactly.
And I'm sad because I really wanted, Big Lex, Summer, and Bad Dolly's relationship to be real and genuine. But it's kind of looking like now they're going to stick together just for the sake of money and for them being production puppets, which it's kind of sad. But, it is what it is, unfortunately. So after Tavi gets beat up, she has a fucking tantrum, okay? She's getting mad. She's saying that you going to have to see me. You going to have to run me that, da-da-da-da-da. And Elsie, the way she looked at her cracked me the fuck up. She was really looking up like really like,
yeah.
Like she was looking at her like she was crazy and that shit had me weak. I was like, oh my God, no.
She used the crowd. I slipped. I need to get my shit back. Fuck you talking about? No. This should be on television.
No. This should be on television.
No, that's mad funny.
No. So then now we're done with the bullshit. We're done with the drama between the two fucking sprinters, okay? Between these two different set of girls.
That shit was a lot. Them
switching
between back and forth was a lot.
It was a lot. It was. Anywho, so Natalie and Rolly get to the house. Now the house is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Best house they ever had, for real.
It is definitely very expensive house.
Mm-hmm. Very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It was so beautiful though. Like the exterior, the interior, like I was here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really do think they were on the money when they said this is probably the best house they've ever had. Because Hawaii was beautiful. That would have been the best. But then I saw this, I said, oh no, this is the best. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, it's nice.
What are your thoughts on that?
No, it's nice. I mean, you know how I feel about this stupid house because the house is great. Love it. Love the luxury vibes, whatever. I don't give a fuck. But what I can't stand about this scene is that like Natalie and Rolly come into the house and you know, the dancer, I guess the head of the dancers comes and greets Natalie and Rolly and says, you know, they have a special performance that they want to do for them. And, you know, it's cute. They seem awkward. They don't know what to expect. And then Natalie's like, oh, and I'm hoping that this was just for camera, but she's like, oh, you know, wait to perform. And, you know, we're just going to go by the bar and drink because there's other girls coming. But it was just their interaction. It was just giving Hollywood. Like, why are you not interacting with them? They feel like props, and I don't really like that. And again, it could just be the way it's filmed. Maybe off camera, they're chit-chatting and getting to know these people. I would hope so, because the way they even like film it, it's just like weird. I don't know. It's just weird, and I don't like. I mean,
look how they acted in DR though, throwing the money out. You really think they interacted with them? Like, I don't think so.
I don't know, but yeah, I just don't like the idea of using these fucking poor people as props.
You know what? The performers, what pissed me off is that they looked so genuinely happy and excited to see Natalie. And it's just really sad that they were greeted with such barbaric behavior. Like, I'm like, why can't these girls ever wait until after the festivities? Like, I've been saying that whole time. Even in Hawaii, y'all couldn't wait till after the performance. Like, I actually wanted to see the performance. Even when they went to the damn apple cider mill, y'all couldn't wait after that to fight. Y'all couldn't wait. Well, like, damn, I want to enjoy the cornfield. I want to enjoy this shit, man.
I mean, wasn't it Summer that fucking started it? They come in, right? The big trio comes in after Rolly and Natalie. Right. They come in and they immediately start like dancing with them a little bit.
Right. But then the new girls come in, and then Fauna, you know, that trio is a part of that group. K Rican and Cold Killer, they come in, and then it's a mess. It's a mess. They start fighting Summer, like, back to back to back, like, in front of the dancers. Like, it's so bad.
I think this is where you see, like, the clip of where the dancers looking, like, hella, like...
Yo, they really look, like, concerned.
Yeah, like, they don't know what to do right now. Like, what do they do? It's
They're
so
like,
awkward.
I thought we were, like, paid to perform. I'm sure they probably really thought, we're gonna go to someone's, you know, rich place and perform. They probably got paid really well.
Right. They
probably were like excited, like, let's do the best performance ever. And then boom, that's what they were greeted with. And I felt bad. I was like, damn, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
This whole scene was just honestly embarrassing to watch, because I was like, damn, these bitches are really fighting on open field. Like, really fighting. And Natalie, she does the whole thing that she always does. She's confused. Why are you guys fighting?
Always confused.
She like basically takes hold of it and says like, okay, I need to know what's going on. Like, you know, and then they explain what's going on. And then she's like, you need to get it all off your chest now. Da 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 da. And then, you know, Fauna, Cold Killer, K-Rican, they all start fighting Summer and Bad Dolly. And it's just a shit show.
And when that goes down, it's so funny because there's a moment where you see that, because they all jump in or whatever, you see that Big Lex tries to jump in, and it's so funny. There's this moment where she slips on her ass.
Yeah.
Slips on her ass on a 90-degree, boop.
Yep.
Gets up and was like held back by security, but it was so funny. It's like, you see, Lex? Stop being a follower.
Yeah.
Stop being a follower. You're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, but you know what? She's being a follower because this is her moment. She says, I'm on Zeus Network. I've always dreamed. Like, this was her dream. Like, it's fucked. Like, it's not fucked up, but it's just crazy to think about it. Like, even watching her vlog, like, this was her dream for real. So it just feels like she's gonna do anything it takes to keep that dream. And it's, I don't know how this is gonna go down, but she needs to get it together because you're not gonna be fan favorite this season. You're not. So
that's what it's looking like.
It's looking like that. So it's like, if this is really your dream, get it together because you will not be most valuable baddie. You will not be fan favorite, and it's going to look bad for you. So get it together. All right. Unless you're okay with being the villain. Unless
I don't think Lex
I don't
is
think
okay
so.
with being the villain.
I don't think so either. It doesn't give that. Because if you came in being all righteous,
Right.
it just doesn't give
Which
that.
is why it's so interesting of who she's hanging out with and what they're representing now, because you came in as, you know, someone who does the right thing, doesn't jump, doesn't do, but your crew jumps.
Yeah, now they're like, fuck it. But like they're doing it to the wrong people. You know, they're doing it to the wrong people. They're doing it to people unprovoked. And it's like, nobody did anything to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody did something to you, I bet, you know, all bets are off. But like I said, they're pulling shit out of thin air and it's getting weird. So then the new set of girls walk in and then you see Pretty P, Ivory, and all of them. So Pretty P ready to fight Summer and Bad Dolly. So Summer has the watch, right? Natalie is basically doing this whole thing like, you know, what happened? Pretty P tells her, she stole my purse, stole my watch, da-da-da. And then you see Summer like handling the watch and everything. And Natalie, this is where Natalie sees that she has the watch. And she's like, just give her her watch. Just give her her watch. And she doesn't give that shit to her. She takes off and throws that shit in the pool. And yo.
But before she throws it, you hear in the background 2 times who I believe is Bad Dolly, but y'all can go back and tell me who it is, because it sounds like Bad Dolly. 2 times you hear, throw it in the water, throw it in the water. Tell me what y'all hear, because I think it's Bad Dolly, and it's like, goes to show you again, well, who the fuck is Bad Dolly, bro? Do you know how fucked up that is to throw someone's Rolex in the water that you did not buy yourself?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
You're fucking weird, bro.
Weird.
That's really bump behavior. The Emmett Till thing, you're stealing people's watch. You ran after the bitch's chain on the last season. You're spitting. Your braids is dirty. You're a bum bitch. You're a bum bitch. You even admitted it. They gave the wrong bitch money. I could tell. But when Summer throws that watch in the water, obviously Natalie's like shocked that actually happened, but was like, you know, made it clear, I guess, that she was gonna give, you know, Pretty P another watch. And I'll be honest with you, Pretty P handled that whole situation extremely well.
She really
Because
did.
I would have fucking flipped, first of all. Second of all, it's like, I get the idea of Natalie saying, I'm going to get you a watch, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a better and more expensive watch, I would hope. But the thing is like, what if that watch, maybe not in this situation, but what if that watch was like someone's grandma's like fucking gifted them or something with more emotional ties to it. Like, you can't replace those things.
Yep.
But and then it also, again, going back to Pretty P, she's such a like, I'm telling you, man, Pretty P was underrated because the way she handled that was so well, so professional. Because not only did she not really flinch or make it, she still fought. She stuck her tongue out when she wanted to fight Summer for that thing. The classic Pretty P face that she makes.
No, for real.
But it's like, imagine like a Rolex being, let's just say this Rolex was $10,000. Like anybody's human reaction, especially $10,000 watch, would be like fucking freaking out. But Pretty P was just like calm, cool, collected, and still was like, I'm gonna fight you, and didn't let any other emotion overtake her. And I really gotta commend her for that.
She always does that though. Like she always remains cool, calm, and collected during all of her fights. Like she really just like, it's whatever you want to do. Like she's always like that, and it's so funny.
I love it.
Yeah, and she fights her 3 times, and the last round, Summer's mouth is bleeding, and it's this whole thing. Natalie, of course, going back to what you said, I'm gonna get you a new watch. She does say that she wasn't there and that she's gonna get the new watch or whatever. And then during this, DTB and Natalie start arguing. Natalie's asking what DTB's problem is, and it's a whole stupid thing. It's a whole fucking stupid thing. And then Tavi suddenly remembers that she has her beef and she wants to run her fade with DTB. And I'm not gonna lie, she was getting them hits in, and I love when she was getting them hits in. Security broke that shit up so fast. And I'm like, this is so fake. Like, all of it is so fake. They know DTB is trolling. They're in on it. Like, even Natalie and DTB, they're in on it. Like, it's fake, right? And then Tavi getting involved in it, it's just really funny. So, I mean, that's pretty much where... Oh, no,
because isn't there where Summer...
Big Lex sneaks fucking Scotty. At the end, Big Lex sneak Scotty.
What the fuck was that about?
Yo, that shocked me.
that was weird.
That was weird because it was so unprovoked. Scotty was literally just standing there, minding her business. Why the fuck did you go and sneak? That was so crazy.
Yeah, that's right. And that reminded me of the first episode when Natalie randomly said, oh, this is why you're scared of Big Lex and you're ducking a fade and Big Lex is prettier than you. And it's like,
and then she's like, yeah, I'm going to get Big Lex beat you up, or Big Lex is going to beat you up all season, or whatever dumb shit she said.
And it's like, why are you bringing up Big Lex? It's so weird. And you like weaponizing Big Lex against Scotty.
Yes, using Big Lex as a weapon.
Which makes sense why Scotty was pissed, because she said, you let Big Lex sneak me.
I don't even know why she still acted so fucking confused. Natalie told you she was gonna do that.
And then but Natalie's like, I didn't know.
Yo, and that's the part that pissed me off when I saw the preview. I was like, are you fucking serious? After saying all this dumb shit that Big Lex is gonna beat you up, I'm gonna have Big Lex fight you, Big Lex is prettier than you. Like, what the fuck are you on?
Yeah.
Both of them stupid. Natalie and Scotty. I can't anymore. I can't anymore.
Yeah, that was random as fuck.
That was so random. And that's where the episode ends. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. This path Big Lex is going down.
It's going down bad. And then it's like, maybe if she's like, if I'm on Natalie's side, I'm protected. It doesn't matter what the fans think of me, because maybe that's true. Because look at Rolly. Fans hate her. But she was Natalie's friend. But I don't know.
Let's be real. If you're not Natalie, Rolly, or Scotty, you're replaceable.
I agree. Well, anywho, so in the preview, we see the whole aftermath, of course, of Big Lex sneaking Scotty. We see Ivory fighting Summer. And boy, it looks like Summer gets pummeled. It looks like Summer gets fucking pummeled, okay?
Someone said, what? Summer turned into fall? Some shit like that? No, that cracked me up. It was a meme. Whatever. It was funny.
But the clip of her losing her bottom row teeth is outrageous. Like, oh my God.
These bitches be really sacrificing their health for this show.
No, they really do. Because they're like, what? You giving me 10K? You giving me 5K? What? I mean, I don't know. And then Stunna getting 50K or more. You know, like, it's just, it's outrageous at this point. I mean, it's fucked up. It's their fucked up, not really a 9 to 5, but damn, it's a fucked up 9 to 5 at this point. At what cost? At what cost? I know some bitches will take that over a regular 9 to 5 any fucking day.
This is true.
And that's why they will always go to those auditions. They don't care. Look at Big Lex. She said, that's my dream. It was like, yeah, I admire your hard work, but this is kind of sad that that's your dream. Like, you don't want to go elsewhere. I mean, listen, no knocking that, because now I'm sure there's mad other celebrities that know you. You met Omarion, like, you know, y'all met Omarion and stuff. But, you know, it's just crazy. It's crazy. But, I mean, that's pretty much it for this recap. Mm-hmm. My thoughts on this episode, I mean, I definitely think this was a solid episode. This was another solid episode. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually shocked.
Look at you.
I'm actually shocked that it feels, aside from DTB and Natalie, it feels organic. I just feel like this was a solid episode. I feel like everything flowed well. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't like, guys, let's have a meeting. And then, like, you know, these staged fucking scenarios. It just felt like real drama happening in every single scene. That was kind of like organic, whether people were starting shit out of thin air or not. It felt like it flowed well. But those are my thoughts. I thought this shit was funny. I don't know. They was just saying the dumbest shit in the arguments. I was cracking the fuck up. So
yeah, I think it was a good episode as well. A lot of things we're seeing, and a lot of things I'm very curious to continue to explore. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like, again, going back to the same thing where I said, like, you know, you're on TV long enough to hate you type shit, you know? So same, I feel like we learned that with Stunna. We learned that with Mariah. Oh, we learned that with even a little bit of Ahna Mac, you know? We learned that with
a little bit of Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie. Biggie's a great example of that. Yeah. And now probably Big Lex. And I'm curious to see how this goes. But yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts on it. I ain't really got much else to say.
Yeah, I mean, and that's pretty much it. You guys definitely leave us your comments as you usually do.
Please.
Let us know like what your thoughts are, because I know y'all always have some strong opinions and y'all always have some new tea that we didn't know about.
Yes.
So definitely comment those. Also comment where you're from, because we love to know where you guys are from. If you guys like this episode, definitely give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe on YouTube, but also, you know, rate us, like us and all that on any podcast platform that you're listening to. Leave a review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just rate us. Share the podcast. If you're an avid listener,
Yes.
share it with your friends or people that you know that would subscribe to this type of content. But yeah, so where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's JESSI.strange. And where can they find you, Tiana?
You guys can find me on Instagram at randomania1. You guys can find us on Instagram at
The
the
Petty
Petty
Headquarters.
Headquarters. You guys can find us on all podcast platforms at
The Petty Headquarters.
And we are also on YouTube, okay? And we also release episodes weekly at The Petty Headquarters. It is so simple. So with that being said, this was your weekly dose of mess.
Now you slowing down, bitch.
I had to.
Now you slowing down. Disrespect.